Hello, hello. I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights. And as always, thank you for joining us. And today we have award-winning New York Times #1 best-selling author, Lisa Gardner. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Strider. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. I love doing this. I love people. I meet people from all over the world. Now, you happen to be in the Boston area, I
I
believe.
am.
I'm the Puget Sound. See, we wouldn't have met normally, maybe at a conference somewhere, but
Yeah.
this way I get to say hi.
See, books bring people together.
They do indeed. They do. And speaking of books, you've got a plethora of books. I mean, like, I'm not sure exactly, 32 or
Over 30
33.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Author in the Headlights is for readers and writers. Of course, the readers, so they
Okay.
can read their next book, and writers to learn the process, the procedure, to get some insight to do their work. And we're going to get into that after we talk some about your books. But just to be forewarned, we do want to talk to you about how you get this done.
Okay.
Well, first off, your book that's just coming out, Kiss Her Goodbye. That's
Yes.
part of the Frankie Elkin series, correct? I think it's
Yes.
book 4. In case anybody else hasn't seen, not only do you have one in the back, I have one too. And I like the whole idea about the story, where
Hmm.
she helps people. She's going around and finding these missing people and things. Now, I will have to say, I'm going to say, what genre do you consider these books to be? I mean, they're thrillers, maybe some police procedurals, but what do
Yeah.
you consider them to be?
I love the fact that we're doing all this cross-genre stuff now. Like you don't fit neatly in the silos anymore, which I think a good story shouldn't fall neatly in a silo. It's a thriller and that it's a page turner and there's very high stakes in this book. It's how far would you go to save someone that you loved? But it's also an amateur sleuth, which is Frankie
Hmm.
Elkin. She's not an FBI profiler. She's not a police detective. She is a woman with a calling. She's a recovering alcoholic who stays sober by going from town to town looking for the missing everyone else has forgotten. So you have elements of mystery and the amateur sleuth vibe, but you definitely have the pacing and the intensity of a thriller.
And she takes care of people, and I like that.
Yeah.
My history is a firefighter, EMT, a career of
Yeah.
that. You take care of people, and I like to have that feeling of doing something, not just do a job, but accomplishing something, or hopefully accomplishing something. But the fact that you consider these people in your work and you write about them, and that brings that really heartfelt thing of that she can do that. I
Well, and
appreciate
it's
it.
Yeah, and to your point, there's everyone's always asking, Frankie, why do you do this? I
Yeah.
mean, why do you go from town to town? Why do you care about people you've never met? Well, she's always more like, why don't you?
Why
Like,
don't you? Yeah.
yeah, but probably the line in the book that summarizes her the best is someone says, this isn't your fight. And she's like, it's always my fight. And I think as far as Frankie is concerned, the first responders of the world, someone has to fight it. Why not you?
That's right. And I will say that it takes its toll to,
Yeah.
anybody who walks into those things, it takes a toll. I know. I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah.
And you associate with that thing and you have to carry it. So you portray it very well in your work.
And I
Now,
think people respond to Frankie for that reason. She's
yeah.
not the superhero. She's not going to win a bar fight. She's not a great hacker. She's just herself. And because she doesn't have special training, she is carrying the scars from book to book.
Yes.
This work is leaving its mark.
And that's book 4 of the series, the Frankie Elkin series. And you've got several other series that have also
Yeah.
gosh, been great. FBI Profiler, you mentioned that in title, and
Yeah.
it is. That's a series, FBI
Yeah.
Profiler. And you've got, I don't know, 7 titles in that. You've got Detective D.D. Warren.
Yeah.
That's 11 books in that series, I think.
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
And you've got some even more than that because you're related to that
Yes.
series. Another 4 or so beyond that. You've got PI Tessa Leoni
Yeah.
and a couple there. You've got some singles. You even have some writing. I happen to believe you have some writing titles in another name.
Yes, well, I don't like to play by the rules. Why stay in your lane? I mean, even the series Detective Dee Dee Warren is with
Yeah,
Tessa Leon, which is with the FBI profiler. That we don't need to overthink these things. We just want a good story.
yeah. So we'll also have those available, by the way, on DermanPublishing.com's bookstore, and it's under Alicia Scott. And so those family secret stories, but you just have a pile of books.
It's been
Now,
35 years.
oh my gosh, come on, you're not
Yep.
even 35 years old.
Oh, I love you for that alone. Yes, these days I'm swearing publishing, it's aging us faster than the dinosaurs. So,
Hey, I am a dinosaur. Come on, be gentle. Yeah. Well, therefore, I know that you write your books faster than I write my books. Yeah, I'm an award-winning author too, but a dollar buys you a cup of coffee.
yeah.
So now that we've talked some about your books, and basically do you have a method of doing your book? Because they're similar kinds of stories. And so do you have a process you do to write those books? How do you do it?
I lean very heavily into the research. For Kiss Her Goodbye, I happened to meet a couple on a trip who they volunteer to help resettle refugees, including an Afghan family in Tucson. And them talking about what this process was really like, the challenges, the nuts and bolts of it. I mean, it's one of those things where I thought I knew refugees and, oh, yeah, we have a refugee problem in the world. But until I spoke to them, I didn't know really anything about refugees. So that captured my attention, partly because it is so dramatic and important and powerful. It felt like this is a story that, would be great to share with others. So I start there with the research phase. That's going to be about 3 months. And then the writing process is still for me very much make it up as I go along. I'm character driven, so it's Frankie Elkin and kind of the way her story's ongoing. She's kind of learning as she goes. It's establishing this young family, this mother who has been in the US for all of 10 weeks and has already disappeared under mysterious circumstances. There's the husband who we don't quite understand. Is he part of the problem? He doesn't seem interested in finding his wife. There's this 4-year-old little girl who's already been through so much, who just wants her mother back. It's kind of laying that foundation. And then, really, if all goes as planned, the characters will start kind of running the show and leading me to where we go next. So at that point, I'm showing up each day to write so I can find out what happens next.
That as a writer, that is a real journey. I mean, it's
Yes.
an exciting journey when you sit down. For those of you that are the readers, if you turn your heart around to be a writer, thinking of how do you do this? I happen to be a pantser. I just
Yeah,
sit down
Pantsers.
and
Yep.
you right, see the pants, it just goes. I try to plot that thing out. I get the vaguest of storylines. I can't think I want to do this. But once
Yeah.
it start typing, it writes itself. The
And there's a
characters
magic
change
in that. Like
themselves.
it's,
It is
yeah,
magic. It's exciting because you
it's,
can
ex-
hardly put it away. My wife tells me, "Hey, aren't you coming to bed?" Yeah, but it's I
yeah,
don't
I have
understand.
to know.
And it's very weird. It is very weird.
And I love when readers say, I mean, I never saw that ending coming. And it's like, yeah, me neither. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. I did not have that planned. And that is one of the big reasons it takes me so long to write because I have to go back and edit so many times because you change
Mm,
something here, it goes through and changes that.
yes.
Yeah. Now, do you get a lot of help with that? And you're with Hatchet, one of the big publishers. How does that work now? Again, speaking to the writers out there
Yeah.
or other authors, how much does that help you in editing and redoing and developing your book, your story? Do they help you or is that all on you?
I'm always a writer who leans heavily on their editor. Like I've always joked to this day, and like we are talking 35 years now, I don't think I'm the world's best writer, but I think I'm a pretty great rewriter. So for me,
I like that.
yeah. So for me, the magic is in the revision process. So my job is somewhat, in the words of Anne Lamott, to get the shitty first draft done. And then at that point, I've already rewritten it a million times on my own. And to your point, thrown out this, thrown out that. But I finally reached this point of, okay, I think this is a whole, but now I'm also too close to it. So I really rely upon a great editor coming in and being like, too slow here, a little too fast here, didn't understand this point at all. And oh, yeah, I knew who did it, page two. So you're going to have to work on that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I go trotting back to my desk.
yeah.
Eat a lot of brownies, wonder how I could be doing this for 35 years and still not know what I'm doing. And then I rewrite it again.
And it hurts sometimes. You get those
Oh, it
edits,
does.
you get a manuscript overview, and you get 35 pages of, well,
Yeah.
and right here, you could have, and that, no, that won't. And it's hard. I mean, that's
Yeah.
they're the professionals in this job, and they're making sure that your book comes out the absolute best it can. And sometimes
And,
that
and you
hurts, but
want
you got to
that
follow it. Pretty much.
objective feedback. I mean, you
Yeah,
want someone who feels comfortable being like, these things are working. You want to know what's good, but this needs work because if not your editor, then it's going to be the Amazon reviewers, and then you can't fix it. Our heart and our souls are going into these things. So we really do want it as
absolutely.
good or as bulletproof as possible, as much as one can. And for me, then that takes a little bit of a village, not gonna
Yeah. Mhm.
lie.
Robert Dugani told me, he
Yes,
said,
I love him.
never put out a bad book because
Yeah,
you'll
no.
lose, you worked so hard to get here. Don't shortcut yourself. You know,
Yeah.
do it right, get it done. So it takes another few months.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
put out a bad book. And
Exactly.
so your newest, Kiss Her Goodbye, that's on the shelves now. I'd love to talk to you again when your next book comes out. You've only done 30 some. All right. You add some room
There's got to be at
there.
least a few more to go, right?
Exactly.
Well, I don't like to plan ahead, but one of the things I think I've never planned on writing a series, but
Mhm.
things like Frankie, the character grows on you so much, you always feel there's more story there and brings me back to write the next one.
Oh, yes. Yes. How in the world do I end it here?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, yep. And I'm on, I got one publishing next month. So that's
Oh,
good.
congratulations.
The ones back up here, that series, The Adventures of Ronan Stone, book three come out. But how do you keep up that 4.9 stars? Anyway, that's my story. Not we're here to talk to you. You do the writing. How long does it take you to write?
I can draft in 6 to 9 months, but again, there's still always going to be several months of revision
Yep,
work.
yep, yep.
And I do feel that's where the magic happens, and that's where you get the tightness. It's great to be able to say for writers like you and me, we don't know how it's going to end, so it's going to be a surprise to our readers. But once you do know that, it's a thriller and there is structural elements that matter. So
Yep.
there need to be some red herrings. You don't want it to also be this ending that's so out of left field. It's like you've broken the contract with the reader. The armchair detectives out there, you should give them a fighting chance, so things need to be reasoned, like, oh, going back, oh, yeah, okay, I can see the seeds of this now, and making the pacing tighter and balancing the characters. Frankie Elkin novels are intense. What's going on with this family is very intense, but you also don't want to burn out the reader. You're back
Yeah.
to Raiders of the Lost Ark. You want to have some lighter elements, like
Yeah.
the unplanned character for me in this book was the iguana Petunia. And
And you have
I'm
to read the book to understand that. So there,
Yes.
you better.
And Petunia really grows on you. Like Petunia becomes one of my favorite characters by the end. But it's to
Yeah,
give you those moments to breathe a little too.
exactly. You gotta have the lighter side to real stress situations. Yeah. So you write just kind of off the cuffish,
Yep.
and unlike Tim Fasciola, who does epic fantasy, we spoke to a few weeks ago, he writes, well, epic fantasy is an epic process because he's talking
Yeah.
150,000 word books.
Oh, I know. Amazing.
And he actually basically writes a book before the book, so he knows exactly what's happening throughout before he gets.
Wow.
And he teaches classes. I've sat through his classes too. Nice, great stories, things, but I can't seem to do that. But it's good for me and a whole bunch of others out there to know that we can't just do the sit down, seat of the pants writing and come out with a good story, but it takes a lot of work after the story's written to make sure it's right, pulling it back together.
I still love going to writers' conferences, listening to other writers talk, because there's no one way to write a book.
No,
What works for you,
that's
but
right.
you can sometimes take little pieces here and there and go, oh, well, that might be fun to try for the next one. No.
Well, Lisa, it has been really fun. We run out of time so fast when we're talking. So I would really, really, really put on your calendar next time you get a book coming out, get a hold of me. Love to talk to you again, make sure this works.
Yes,
And
I would love
because
that.
there's so
Thank you
much
so much,
energy
Strider.
here, I know the people, our readers out there would love to hear from you too
So
again.
much.
Lisa, thank you. Lisa Gardner, New York Times #1 best-selling author, award-winning, reader books. You can fill a whole month reading her books. So until then, I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights, saying until next time.